2030, there's also an agenda after 2030. We have also experienced shared knowledge, both from Tanzania and from Uganda. Also, there was an expectation on localizing the SDGs. So again, this is something that we'll be picking up and seeing how best you can be able to localize conversations around SDGs, both at higher learning institutions, to even informal settlements, and to the marginalized communities, just to make sure that everyone gets to understand well what the SDGs is all about. Also, there was an expectation on having one voice. Again, all of us need to speak the same language so that we can be able to understand each other, especially when it comes to sustainable development goals. And then the last expectation was to engage, and engage. So we have engaged, either at a personal level or at an online level. So we have engaged. So as we progress today, we will be swapping to our different groups. We will be able to connect, of course, share best practices, some of the lessons that we learned from Uganda and from Tanzania, and see how best we can be able to put that into practice. So let me just see through the program so that we see how we can be able to divide ourselves. Also, as I see through the program, I think it would also be nice for us to recognize the one that has made this day a success, not just this day, but the 2 days. So I would also like to introduce Yeni to say something. And then also we'll have a representative from Uganda to say something, and then we can zero down to our groups. Sindo, at least we can listen to their voices. Yeni, kindly take the stage. Thank you very much, Yeni. That was well noted. A round of applause to Yeni, kindly. Okay. So I would also like to introduce UNA Uganda. Linda, please tell us something, and then we can zero to Tanzania. At least we hear their voices, and then we can zero down to our group work. Thank you. Yes, we can hear you clearly. Thank you very much, Linda. Indeed, we all look forward to a very interactive presentation, both from the countries, all the countries rather, so that we also get to know what Kenya is doing, what Tanzania is doing, and also what Uganda is doing. So at this juncture, I would also like to introduce maybe Ali or Judy from Tanzania. Also, let us get to hear your voices kindly. We can, but your voice is a bit low. Your voice is a bit low, Judith. Yes, very. Yes. Yeah, you're very audible.
Good morning, everyone. Happy to join with you again this Sunday discussion, this workshop, and just let you know that there is a lot that we still need to talk about and discuss. The things that we heard from Uganda and the other from Kenya as well. We want to like compare these two contexts to our own country context and see what we can learn, all the things that we share. So we are really looking forward to the next session. We also either hear what also Uganda and Kenya have like Tanzania, and we are also going to hear what we have also taken point of, or maybe if any clarification from both of you, what we can also improve in future, like basically, given that 7% of the population is made up of youth, so we are a lot of us here, so we need to know what to do better, to do better. Yeah, we're looking forward to a very good day.
Thank you very much, Judith. Indeed, all of us are eager to know what we have learned from our respective countries. So thank you very much, Judith and Linda, and of course, Yeni, for taking us through a few words that we have definitely grasped. So in the interest of time at this point, we will be breaking and it will be offline. So some of the things that we'll be discussing, I think I need to take you through it so that even as you go through your group discussions, of course, you know what you're discussing about. So, of course, the topic is very clear, National Workshop on Enhancing Youth Advocacy. Again, as I said, this will be done offline. And so one of the things or one of the questions is what impressed you in other countries' presentations? Yesterday, if all of you heard me, I said we should be very keen and attentive during those presentations because we will be tutakuwa tunazichambua. In English, how do we say that? Yeah, we will be analyzing them. Thank you. Yeah, we'll be analyzing them. Maybe I have roots from Tanzania. Who knows? Okay, so that is the first one. And then the second one, I hope you are taking notes. The second one is choose some of the best practices presented yesterday. So when Uganda and Tanzania were presenting, or even when Kenya and Tanzania were presenting, or Kenya and Uganda were presenting, there were some of the best practices that emerged from the three countries. And also, do you think the same approach would work in your own context? So whatever stood out for you or the best practice that you got from Tanzania or from Uganda, do you think the same approach would work in your context? So hata mkiba mwa Kenya mjue, is it practical in your country? And if it's practical, why? And if it's not, why not? So for the Kenyan team, I think I will be writing the questions. Also, these questions I'll be texting them on the message. So don't really break your head trying to get every point that I say. The third question is what are the most important topics that the youth in your country Now this one is you focus specifically to your country. So what are the most important topics that the youth in your country, stroke worldwide, would advocate for? Again, why? Again, so you really need to justify your answer. Also, do you think they are the same or different in your country, stroke East African region, stroke globally? Again, why? I remember yesterday when I was taking you through our presentation, I said one of the pillars for the organization is national, regional, and global advocacy. So this question falls there. We need to understand if this is at the global level, how can we be able to tackle this question so that it fits our context as a country? And if it is not fitting our context as a country, why does it not fit our context as a country? So these questions, I'll be typing them on the chat box, and I will also be putting them here so that we can be able to interact with them. So I think at this juncture, if there is nothing much, we will be having the split screen, so that doesn't mean you totally disappear, Uganda and Tanzania. And then in Kenya, we will be breaking in our different groups. So we don't want to have so many groups, so I think just 2 groups will do for Kenya, Irene. Wote pamoja. Alternatively, we can just, as one, sawa. So, so Steve Mboya will be our moderator. And then, okay, again, I also have not mentioned this. Right now it is 9:27. So as we break to our groups, it has to be an intensive group work. Please, again, as I said yesterday, let us not be flies on the wall. Sawa. Let us all contribute. This is not a one-man affair. This is not Mboya's affair or Stella's affair or Irene's affair. It is our affair as all of us. So as we go to our groups right now, which is 9:28, we have to finish this work by 12:30. Is that okay? Though in between we will break for tea. Of course, we are Kenyan, so we will break for tea at some point, but it is from now to 12:30, and then after 12:30 exactly, we will break for lunch, and then come back at 13:30. That is 1:30. Then the group discussion, the presentations will start at exactly 13:30. So for Kenya, Linda will be taking us through the presentations. Tanzania, they will figure out who will be taking them through the presentation, and also Uganda. And then from there, we will be having reflections from their presentations, and then we will be welcoming our presenter who was supposed to start us for the day, that is W. Funa. Is that okay? Aya, sawa. Thank you for now. After now.